The 2023 season was electric and was the most watched campaign ever. It had the highest attendance rating in league history. The MLS Cup champions of that season were the Columbus Crew, and they defeated the Los Angeles FC.
Now the 2024 MLS season is around the corner, and it's finally time to give you my season predictions. The Toronto FC.
Toronto had their worst season in franchise history last year. They had a record of 4 wins, 20 losses, and 10 draws worth 22 points, and they finished as the worst team in MLS that season. Their last playoff appearance came in the 2020 season. With the new season, I believe that they could be the worst team again this year in MLS, and they will finish this campaign in 15th place.
The Chicago Fire.
The Chicago Fire had another disappointing campaign by missing the playoffs again for the 6th consecutive year in a row. They had a record of 10 wins, 14 losses, and 10 draws worth 40 points, and they finished that campaign in 13th place. Since their last playoff appearance came in 2017, only once since then, they finished better than 20th place in a season, and that was in 2019. So my prediction is that they will finish the new season as the 14th place team in the Eastern Conference.
The DC United.
The DC United had a better season overall last year than the previous campaign, where they were the worst team in the league that year. Their final record from the 2023 season was 10 wins, 14 losses, and 10 draws worth 40 points, and they finished that campaign in 12th place. Their last playoff appearance came in the 2019 season. So, in the new season, my prediction is that they will miss the playoffs again for the 5th time in a row as the 13th place team.
The CF Montreal.
Montreal had a frustrated season last year by missing the playoffs after making it the year before. They finished that season in 10th place, just barely missing out of the final spot. Their record in that campaign was 12 wins, 17 losses, and 5 draws worth 41 points. So I believe that they will miss the playoff again this season as the 12th place team.
The Charlotte FC.
The 2023 season was Charlotte's second ever campaign in MLS as one of the most recent expansion teams. In their second ever season, they made their first ever playoff spot. Their final record was 10 wins, 11 losses, and 13 draws worth 43 points as the 9th seed team. In that playoff appearance, they made it to the wild card, but unfortunately they lost that match to the New York Red Bulls. By all means, I believe that they will be a competitive team in the new season, but they will miss the playoffs as the 11th place team.
The New York City FC.
The 2023 campaign wasn't that great for the New York City FC. That's because they missed the playoffs for only the second time in team history. Their only non-playoff seasons were 2023 and 2015, which was their first season as a franchise. Their record during the season was 9 wins, 11 losses, and 14 draws worth 41 points, and they finished in 11th place. So my prediction is that they will finish the new season as the 10th place team.
The Atlanta United.
Atlanta had a nice bounce-back season last year by making the playoffs, after having a disappointing campaign in 2022. Their final record last season was 13 wins, 9 losses, and 12 draws worth 51 points. In that playoff appearance, they played against the Columbus Crew in round 1. Unfortunately for them, they lost that series 2-1. I believe that Atlanta will make a playoff spot in the new season as the 9th place team.
The New England Revolution.
The New England Revolution were a much better team during the 2023 season after having a disappointing campaign in the previous season. They made a playoff spot last season as the 5th place team, and their record was 15 wins, 9 losses, and 10 draws worth 55 points. In the playoffs, they played against the Philadelphia Union in round 1. Unfortunately for them, they got swept in that series. So I suspect that they will be a playoff team again this season as the 8th place team.
The New York Red Bulls.
The New York Red Bulls had another great season last year by making the playoffs every year since 2009. During the 2023 season, their record was 11 wins, 13 losses, and 10 draws worth 43 points. In the playoffs, they played against Cincinnati in round 1. Unfortunately for them, they got swept in that series. I absolutely believe that they will make another playoff appearance this season as the 7th place team.
The Nashville SC.
Since Nashville joined the league as an expansion team for the 2020 season, they have made the playoffs in every campaign since then. In the 2023 season, they finished in 7th place with a record of 13 wins, 11 losses, and 10 draws worth 49 points. In that playoff appearance, they played against Orlando City in round 1. Unfortunately for them, they got swept in that series. For the upcoming season, I have them finishing as the 6th place team.
The Philadelphia Union.
The Philadelphia Union had another wonderful season last year by making the playoffs again for the 6th consecutive campaign in a row. They finished that campaign in 4th place with a record of 15 wins, 9 losses, and 10 draws worth 55 points. In the playoffs, they made it to the conference semifinals against Cincinnati. Unfortunately for them, they lost that match. So my prediction is that they will finish the new season in 5th place.
The Columbus Crew.
The Columbus Crew had a wonderful season last year by winning the MLS Cup. In the MLS Cup, they played against the Los Angeles FC. They won that match 2-1, and that was their 3rd ever MLS Cup championship in team history. During the regular season, they had a record of 16 wins, 9 losses, and 9 draws worth 57 points. So in the new season, I believe that they will have another great campaign, and they will make a playoff spot as the 4th place team.
The Orlando City SC.
The Orlando City SC had one of their best seasons in team history last year. They have currently made the playoffs for 4 consecutive seasons in a row. Their last non-playoff appearance came in 2019. In the playoffs last season, they made it to the conference semifinals against the Columbus Crew. Unfortunately for them, they lost that game. In the new season, my prediction is that they will finish in 3rd place.
The Inter Miami CF.
Miami unfortunately missed the playoffs last season after making it the year before. The team improved massively last season when Lionel Messi made his debut. If not for a few nagging injuries that kept him sidelined, Inter Miami could have very well made the postseason and done damage. Their final record last year was 9 wins, 18 losses, and 7 draws worth 34 points. Now in the new season, the team will have a stronger roster and could be one of the top teams in the league. So I have them finishing as the 2nd place team this year.
The FC Cincinnati.
Cincinnati had their best season in team history last year by finishing as the best in the league. They also made their 2nd playoff appearance in franchise history. In that playoff appearance, they played against the Columbus Crew in the conference finals. Unfortunately for them, they lost that match. During the regular season, their record was 20 wins, 5 losses, and 9 draws worth 69 points. So my prediction is that they will finish as the best team in the Eastern Conference this year.
The Austin FC.
Austin had a disappointing season last year by missing the playoffs after making it the year before. During the 2023 season, they finished in 12th place, and their record was 10 wins, 15 losses, and 9 draws, worth 39 points. So for the upcoming season, I have them finishing in last place in the Western Conference.
The Colorado Rapids.
The Colorado Rapids had a miserable season last year by being the 2nd worst team in MLS. They finished that campaign in 14th place, and their record was 5 wins, 17 losses, and 12 draws worth 27 points. Their last playoff appearance came in 2021. So my prediction is that they will finish the new season in 13th place.
The Minnesota United.
The 2023 season for the Minnesota United ended their 4 consecutive playoff appearances in a row. They finished that campaign in 11th place, and they had a record of 10 wins, 13 losses, and 11 draws worth 41 points. By all means, I suspect that they will miss the playoffs this year as the 12th place team.
The LA Galaxy.
The LA Galaxy had a disappointing season last year by missing the playoffs. Since the beginning of the 2017 campaign, they have only made 2 playoff appearances in that period, both in 2019 and in 2022. During the 2023 campaign, they finished as the 13th place team, and their record was 8 wins, 14 losses, and 12 draws worth 36 points. This season could be another long campaign for them, and I suspect that they will finish in 11th place.
The San Jose Earthquakes.
The San Jose Earthquakes had a good season last year by making the playoffs after missing it the previous 2 years in a row. In that playoff appearance, they played against the Sporting Kansas City in the wild card. Unfortunately for them, they lost that match. During the regular season, they had a record of 10 wins, 10 losses, and 14 draws worth 44 points. So my prediction is that they will finish the season as the 10th place team.
The Vancouver Whitecaps.
The Vancouver Whitecaps had a pretty nice season last year by making the playoffs. In the playoffs, they played against the Los Angeles FC in round 1. Unfortunately for them, they got swept in that series. Their record during that season was 12 wins, 10 losses, and 12 draws worth 48 points, and they finished in 6th place. So I believe that they will compete for a playoff spot this season as the 9th place team.
The Real Salt Lake.
The Real Salt Lake had their best season since 2019. They have also made the playoffs for a 4th straight year in a row. In the playoffs, they played against the Houston Dynamo in round 1. Unfortunately for them, they lost that series. During the regular season, they finished in 5th place, and their record was 14 wins, 12 losses, and 8 draws worth 50 points. So my prediction is that they will finish the new season in 8th place.
The Sporting Kansas City.
The Sporting Kansas City made the playoffs last season after missing it the year before. In the playoffs, they made it to round 1 against the St. Louis City SC. Unfortunately for them, they got swept in that series. They finished that season as the 8th seed, and they had a record of 12 wins, 14 losses, and 8 draws worth 44 points. I suspect that they will be a better team overall, and they will finish in 7th place in the new season.
The FC Dallas.
Dallas didn't have as good of a season last year as the previous season, but they still made a playoff spot for the 2nd straight year. In that playoff appearance, they made it to round 1, but unfortunately for them, they were knocked out of round 1 against the Seattle Sounders. During the regular season, they had a record of 11 wins, 10 losses, and 13 draws worth 46 points as the 7th seed. This season, I suspect that they will be as good and will finish as the 6th place team.
The Portland Timbers.
The Portland Timbers have missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. That has only happened one other time in team history, where they have missed the playoffs in consecutive seasons, and that was in 2011 to 2012. Their record last season was 11 wins, 13 losses, and 10 draws worth 43 points, and they finished in 10th place. So my prediction is that they will be a much better team, and they will make a playoff spot as the 5th place team.
The Houston Dynamo.
The Houston Dynamo had a fantastic season last year by breaking their playoff drought that started in 2018. In that playoff appearance, they made it to the conference finals, where they played against the Los Angeles FC. Unfortunately for them, they lost that match. They finished that season as the 4th seed with a record of 14 wins, 11 losses, and 9 draws worth 51 points. So my prediction for the new season is that they will make a playoff spot again this year as the 4th place team.
The Seattle Sounders.
The 2023 season for the Seattle Sounders was a nice bounce-back campaign by making the playoffs after missing it the year before. In the playoffs, they made it to the conference semifinals against the Los Angeles FC. Unfortunately for them, they lost that match. During the regular season, they finished in 2nd place, and their record was 14 wins, 9 losses, and 11 draws worth 53 points. So my prediction is that they will make another playoff appearance this year as the 3rd place team.
The St. Louis City SC.
The 2023 season for them was their first campaign in existence as a new expansion team. They made their first playoff appearance last year, and they played against the Sporting Kansas City in round 1. Unfortunately, they lost that series. During the regular season, they finished as the best team in the Western Conference. Their record was 17 wins, 12 losses, and 5 draws worth 56 points. I suspect that they will have another great season and will finish in 2nd place.
The LAFC.
Los Angeles had a great season last year by making the MLS Cup for the 2nd consecutive year in a row. In the MLS Cup, they played against the Columbus Crew. Unfortunately for them, they lost that match. They finished the season as the 3rd seed, and their record was 14 wins, 10 losses, and 10 draws worth 52 points. This season, I suspect that they will be the best team in the Western Conference. So here is my official playoff bracket for this season. And here are my predictions for all of those matchups. And the champions are the Seattle Sounders.
So those are my predictions for MLS this season. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments section. If you're new, please consider subscribing and also hit that notification bell. And if you love sports, this is definitely the place for you. And also share this video with more sports fans. For more football videos, please click up here. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Nathan, and I'll see you guys all next time. Just keep loving sports.